What's going on, guys? Chad back with you here on the RC Models and More channel, and this is going to be another weekly update show. I haven't done one of these for a while. I've had probably about 1,000 less subscribers than I do now, so there really wasn't a whole lot of interaction. But since I started posting a lot more the past couple weeks, there's been a lot of comments and a lot of discussion. So first of all, thank you to everybody. Thank you for helping me get to 2,000 subscribers. Here's to 20,000. So first thing we can cover is the Spark. I did a video about what my thoughts on the Spark was. Still don't think I'm that interested in it, especially for the price. Pretty much everybody agrees on the comments that I've seen. I think a lot of people were hoping to use their Mavic remote with it to help drive that cost down, and it's another one of those things that DJI is kind of doing, that it's like we have the Phantoms, we have the Mavic, and now we have the Spark, and then we have the goggles up here, and all three use the goggles differently. With the Phantoms, you have to use HDMI, or you just use the goggles by themselves. Preferably, you use the Go app, and then you just use the Live View for the best functionality. Now with the Mavic, it's all in. Wirelessly, you can do everything with the goggles, and you can also have the app running as well, which I still kind of like using both at the same time. Now with the Spark, it's kind of up in the air. We don't know exactly what you're still going to be able to do. I mean, you're not going to be able to do hand gestures whenever you have goggles on. And then they're not going to work if you don't buy the remote. I don't see that working at all. So there's a lot of questions and stuff to be answered about the Spark still. So I guess that's just kind of a wait and see type of thing. The other big news of hysteria was the Go4 app update, and if we did not take the update, DJI was either going to force us to take the update or to re-sign into our account, or they're going to limit our distance and turn off our cameras and everything else. Pretty much everybody downloaded the update that commented on my video, and nobody had a single issue. Some were prompted to sign into their account and some were not. I know on my iPad I was not prompted to re-sign into my account, but I did it anyway. On my iPhone I was prompted, and then I got the new pilot screens to match up that has like the pretty picture at the top and everything like that. So far everything is so good. It looks like they were just kind of cleaning up their database and everything, and I guess we'll see what happens from here on out. The next video that I posted, which was actually I think just yesterday or the day before, was about Android apps running on DJI devices and their inability to get one to work. Now there is a percentage of people out there that have no issues at all, but there's people that have tons of issues trying to get things to work. Everybody has tried things as far as, they've got disconnect issues, this and that. They've tried different cables. They've tried, with Mavic going into the bottom port instead of to the side with one of the different type of cables. And it seems kind of like a toss-up that you just basically get lucky or you don't. A lot of people are using Litchi, and some people are scared to use Litchi because they have the hit and miss information from DJI on whether or not it is covered under warranty if you crash it using a third-party app. It's a real gray area. It really depends on who you talk to that day. As far as DJI support staff go. So what's coming up this week with news on all of our camera drones and all that good stuff? There's no big events or anything like that scheduled, so I guess we just need to see and wait if there's any app updates that are out there. I know Litchi basically put out a Facebook Live update to their app, and they actually went one step further. You can actually share to a group now, which is pretty cool. So instead of like sharing to your channel, and then if you're part of, say, the Everything DJI Mavic or DJI Mavic group, you can actually share to just that individual group, instead of sharing to everybody and then having, you know, your aunts, uncles, cousins, brothers, and dogs and everybody talking about other stuff than drones when you're trying to fly and show them something really cool. So I had a couple questions from people this week that I promised that I would test a few things out. The first thing, I had a comment from, oh, who was it here? It was 007KMF saying that his Zoom does not work after the update. It sounds like he is on an Android device. I am using an iOS system, so he said his last comment was he doesn't think that it occurred in the iOS system, and I wanted to verify that, so I got some video of that coming up showing how that worked. And then I had another individual. I had Karan Segal asking if the gimbal and pitch control works during a waypoint mission with the phone and VR headset combo in Litchi. Wondering if I had tried it before he spent his money with DJI. I did try it, and it does work, and I'm going to show you the video for that right now. That Litchi doesn't have an actual update that says it's fully compatible with the goggle support, but they work. I was able to use Litchi while I went into the goggles and put on gimbal tracking and everything else. I didn't fly a waypoint, but it should work no matter what. I'll show you the video and you guys can check that out. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to check is we're going to see if Zoom still works in the DJI-GO4 app. If we go into the remote control, we can see that I have zoom in and zoom out still selected on the 5D button. And I am at 2.7K, and you can see that we still have 2x zoom capability. Now if we bump that up to 4K, you see it says digital zoom is not supported in 4K. So that perhaps could be the issue that the subscriber was noticing. Now one thing that happens is if we turn the goggles on, it still says that we have that functionality available to us. But with the goggles, the 5D button actually will work your goggle menu, and you don't have the ability to zoom with the 5D button, nor do you have the ability to customize your C1 or C2 buttons unless you exit and get rid of fixed wing mode. So in short, the zoom feature is still there, but only in certain shooting modes. When you use the goggles, it makes things a little bit more difficult. So another question was asked was, can we use the goggles with Litchi? And when I have the live view fired up with Litchi here, I can see through the goggles, no problem. The question is, I know that doing some testing that the menu items don't line up with Litchi and the goggles themselves, but can you use the built-in goggle modes while using Litchi? So what I'm going to do here is take off, just kind of hover, and now with my goggles I am going to enter with the goggles, I am going to enter head tracking gimbal. And as you can tell, I am moving my head with the goggles. You can see how stuttery and everything else it is. And Litchi is responding to those controls. Turn around here and yaw a little bit towards my house. Back up a little bit here so we don't have to listen to that. It's very windy out. So now if I want to look at my flower that is alive, I can. If I want to look at the flower that is dead, or check out our beautiful mulch job, that's the limit of the gimbal right there. You can see the little black arc here in the goggle screen that's showing how far I have actually moved it, my head from center, which is a pretty interesting feature. So I'm going to spin back around here and see what other modes work with the head tracking. So I'm going to go back into the menu on the goggles, and now I'm going to click on head tracking flight. So now if I give it some forward momentum, I can actually steer with the goggles and do head tracking. It's very, very difficult to fly this way though. I will tell you that. So I'm doing this all with my head. Oh, go back this way. No. Had to use a little bit of stick input there. All right. So I'll go ahead and take my hands off the sticks, and we are going to exit this mode. Litchi does work with the goggles. Like I showed in my other video, the only issue is that the menu as far as recording and stopping recording and that does not line up. But those are some answers. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed everything. and all of the different questions and segments and stuff that I did. I'd really like to get more people involved. There's plenty of like FPV shows and podcasts and everything out there, but all of the camera stuff that we enjoy and play around with, whether you're a professional or just a hobbyist, or you know, a lot of you are still new to drones, like you either are still thinking about buying a Mavic or a Spark and you don't even have one yet. You know, we want you guys involved in the hobby too. So hopefully maybe we can do some live hangouts, some broadcasts, get some people together and have some good discussion about what we like and what we don't like and everything else. So if you got any comments or anything on that, let me know. Again, thanks a lot. Well, that's going to do it for the video today. Guys. Hope you liked all that. Give me a thumbs up or a subscribe or whatever else. Really hope that we can continue this kind of show and this kind of banter that really helps out the community. I know there's some people out there that own every DJI product, and there's some people that still haven't even made that leap and that they're trying to decide between a Spark and a Mavic. It's all over Facebook groups. You know, people are having that internal discussion right now as we speak, thinking about how to spend their $5,000–7,000. I'd love to do some live streams, some live hangouts, listen to a lot of podcasts and watch a lot of YouTubers and stuff, and you know, there's a lot of people doing their own individual things in this segment, and you don't see many people coming together and doing you know, collaborations and stuff like that. The FPV guys, you know, fly a lot of that stuff. There's tons of podcasts and group interactions and everything going on. So I would like to hopefully get some other people on here sometime and do something like that on YouTube. So I think that would be great. But anyway, guys, thanks. We'll see you later.